guys. So this has been, I guess, what you could call my week from hell. Everything that could go wrong has been, and I've got some tough decisions to make. I guess, I guess the first thing is my Cup Challenger has a driveline noise, and of course now it's out of warranty. So occasionally when I'm buzzing along, it makes this kind of clicking, rapping noise. That's going to be a different video. I'm going to get into that, pull the skid plates, and see what's going on under there. I'm really hoping that it's just a stick or some vine or weed or something caught in it, but it actually sounds a little more dense than that. So I need to get on that ASAP to make sure that it's ready to go for plowing snow in the winter. Um, that is its primary function, plowing snow. I actually have a buddy of mine at work that has this dinosaur of a Ford 5500, I believe it is, backhoe that he's willing to sell extremely reasonably. It runs, digs, it's got a lot of slop in the bucket and the boom and so forth. And it's not pretty by any means. It's extremely humble. But I need to clean out my ponds. They've been... Actually, what I'm going to do, I have two ponds, and I'll probably make a video of that if this all comes together. I'm going to incorporate the two ponds into one large pond because they're just 6 feet apart. So if I can wind up with this machine, I'm going to do that with the ponds, and like I said, I'll make a video with that. So anyway, the Challenger is unhealthy, or so I think. I've spun wrenches for a lot of years in dealerships and private garages in my own business, and I really don't like what I'm hearing. So that'll be a future video. I'll get into that later. The bean nuke that I bought, I've cracked it open usually every 7 days just to make sure I don't have any varroa mites or wax moths or anything like that. And I've yet to see the queen. I saw some larvae, but they appear to be a couple of weeks old, like on the verge of hatching. So that's another issue. I really don't know if I have a queen in this hive or not. So I'm going to have to address that immediately if I want this hive to survive. And my ducks, and this is the heartbreaker. Just over a year ago, probably 14 months ago, I bought 4 Pekin ducks. And 2 of them have come up lame. One of them is extremely lame. She can't bend her right leg at the knee, and she's losing weight on a continual basis no matter what I feed her. And I really think that it's in, and man, I really don't butcher anything. I hunt, I'm not gonna lie, I do hunt, and I will harvest deer and turkey. I don't small game hunt, I don't hunt pheasant, squirrel, and any of that stuff. But deer and turkey are in such an abundance out here in northeast Pennsylvania that I don't want to say I don't feel bad. I realize how the meat industry is and how old chickens and beef and so forth are when they're butchered for commercial production. I know how deer are starving, and I know how many get hit by cars, and I feel not much, but a little different when I harvest a deer or a turkey. But I bought these ducks to sort of be pets. I really hope for eggs because duck eggs are pretty good. But these two are. I never would have killed them for meat. Never. But I'm getting to the point where I think it's inhumane to let them suffer. Like I said, the one is she's not growing new feathers. I made a small duck pond just so they could get some water time. And she cannot walk. I've had her in the duck hospital, as I call it. I built a small pen that I keep them in. They're protected. I've tried Nutrina feed, Purina. I fed them peas, niacin supplement. I actually even had a vet that said try to give them penicillin injections, which I did. I bought penicillin, I bought the syringes, and nothing. They just keep getting worse. The one is really, really bad as of today. I put them in the pond, and the one just, she tries to get out and she shivers, so I take her out. And I mean, it's 70 some degrees out today. The water isn't cold. The other duck is, I believe that's a female as well. And over the last couple of weeks, she's developed these white coverings. I don't know what words to use, but these white coverings over her eyes. And I'm not 100% sure that she's totally blind, but I've tried everything. I've tried peroxide, penicillin, feed, supplements. I've bought numerous heads of kale and lettuce and fed them fresh peas, and they just seem to be getting worse. So I don't have an answer. I don't know if they're suffering. I guess what they say, ducks don't cry. I don't know. So my plan is to humanely, and I hate to say it, I don't know if they're in misery or not. But yeah, my eyes are on them right now. I'm looking at them right now. And I don't know if it's the right thing to do. But the one female, like I said, she's not growing feathers. She's not really eating. She's constantly losing weight. I have to pick her up out of the doctor cage to put her in the duck pond I made. And it's a redneck pond, but it's a pond. And every time I pick her up, I can feel more and more of her breastbones and rib bones. And I know for a fact she's losing weight. And the other one, I don't know. You know, I can come up to her, I think it's a her, and she doesn't know I'm there until she actually feels me, so I'm pretty confident that she's blind. I'm torn at this point as to how to proceed. So yeah, the cub cadets got an issue, the ducks have an issue, the bees may be queenless, and I bought this Fiskars X15 axe about a month ago to do some minor work around here. And I've never owned a short felling axe. I've had a bunch of normal splitting axe, chopping axes, and so forth. But I've spent a little bit of time putting a razor edge on this in case I decide that's really what I need to do as far as the ducks are concerned. I did some research, and apparently the most humane way to put them down is to sever the head. I definitely will not make a video about that. But I don't know where else to turn. I don't want them to suffer. So this may be the way that I have to go, and I'm honestly considering tomorrow as the day. So in light of that, I've been using a two-sided stone because I do not want them to suffer a second. And I've been sharpening this axe above and beyond the way it came, and it's been pretty sharp since I bought it. And whenever I sharpen a knife, an axe, a hatchet, whatever, I use a piece of this happens to be nylon, a piece of nylon 1/4 inch rope, to see just how sharp I've achieved the edge. But this time it's kind of personal. As I said, I don't want them to suffer a second. And I don't know that they are now. Thankfully, the horses are good. The chickens, I've never had a sick chicken. They're great today and tomorrow they're dead, or a fox has gotten them, or a raccoon, or actually I've had bear carve a hole through the side of 1/2 inch plywood to get to my chickens. And I wasn't happy about it, of course, but I guess nature does its thing. And for anybody who's thinking about it, nature is a hell of a lot brutal than we are. If you've ever seen a hawk eat a rabbit or a squirrel, they're alive. That's pretty darn sharp. They're alive when the raptor, owl, hawk, whatever, catches the prey. They eat it alive. And you could only hope, as being their victim, that the first thing they bit into was your neck and hit the carotid artery and you bled out immediately. You're not getting free. Their talons are very long and very strong. And I had the unfortunate, I guess you could call it unfortunate, privilege of seeing a hawk eat a rabbit. And I've never heard a rabbit scream before, but he screamed while he was being eaten by the hawk. So if you think humans are brutal and heartless, check into how nature operates. Alright guys, I just thought I'd bring you along on my depressing week. And hopefully next week will be a little bit better. So, y'all take care. It's the 27th, so actually next weekend will be July 4th. So y'all take care, have a great holiday, and I'll keep you guys posted on my events if you're interested. Thanks.